Yes. Reminisce. Carrying the traditions of St. Kofa, man, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we have forgotten. You know what I'm saying? I go by Logic, and I'm here with my brother.
Mindbender Supreme. What's up, brothers and sisters? What up?
Yes,
Yo,
sir, man.
yo.
Fresh,
So
fresh
let's
from the motherland, bro. Fresh, just
This is the illest
like,
check-in of all. Yo. How are you doing? Yo, talk to me.
oh
What?
man. It's been a trip, man. Like it's honestly, I got to shout out Dwayne Morgan. He's like the mastermind behind this whole ordeal. He's been traveling to the continent for a while, and obviously being inspired and seeing like the value that it could be for others. He collaborated with a group called Travel Lead, and they usually do like tours in South Africa and whatnot. So they connected with Dwayne Morgan, and what I'm saying, they put together this 4 nation tour, what I'm saying, where we got to visit Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and then South Africa. So
Amazing.
yeah, so with that being said, like, everything was like organized, and the itinerary was just immaculate. Like every day was just a journey. It's just something that just feels like a dream. So with that being said, like the trip was definitely eye-opening. um I think like the simple way that I've explained it to some folks is that it's like this like DNA activation. I feel like just being of someone of like African descent, and seeing so much like ways of how the way that I was like brought up and raised, and then seeing it in the motherland. It's like it's just like this like reminder that like, yeah, like we haven't lost as much as we thought we did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
It's like, there's stuff that we just do intuitively, naturally, that is aligned, and I'm seeing it, over there. So it was just one of those like reassuring kind of things, just knowing like, yo, we're on the right path. And then two, I would say something that really stood out was the day when I landed in Namibia. It was February 28th. So that was like the last day of Black History Month. And
nice.
I landed, and we got to the hotel, got checked in. It was a beautiful hotel, like really comfortable vibes. Um, and then like someone was talking about, so we saw like some roads were blocked off and whatnot. Turns out the next day was the funeral service of Namibia's founding father. So
Mm,
Sam Nuoma, and he was someone who was just like a straight up like freedom fighter. Was in exile for like 30 years, and doing whatever he can to like protect his country against like South Africa with their apartheid and all kinds of foolishness and whatnot. And you know what I mean, like he was someone who really held down the cause, and so anyway, so that was happening. So I made like a TikTok post about that. Just saying, hey, look, it's the last day of Black History Month. The day I arrive in Africa, I'm learning about this like not just like a regular guy. He's like the guy. You know what I'm saying? That really symbolizes Namibia, and he's like loved by his community, and died at the age of 95. Just natural causes and whatnot. So to see like a freedom fighter like not die because of like gunshots or something like that was just really nice to see as well.
that's
And
peaceful.
and so I made that post, and the comments, I mean, like the Africans just came out of the woodwork, and just like thanking me for like the acknowledgement, and welcoming me home, and just really taking to like my energy and my intentions, which is to make that connection. So that was just a real eye opener of just how quickly authentic connections were happening. I know it's like digital and it's online and whatnot, but it was just like a really powerful thing to see, which encouraged me to kind of just document more as I was going, right. So as experiences were happening, then I was like commenting about it, or certain things I was learning, then I would just kind of comment about it, and it just started building this like online community. You know what I mean? So those are some definitely like things that stood out. Of course, seeing elephants and giraffes in their natural habitat. What I'm saying? Like going to Zimbabwe and seeing baboons out like raccoons. What I mean? They're like equivalent to raccoons if I had to compare. So what I mean, just be walking around and you'll see like a baboon chilling, drinking out of a cup. You're just like, yo. you
Wow. Wow.
know what I mean? Like it's this one spot that we're staying at, there was baboons like crawling on the roof. Like you can hear them like running on the roof. Anybody who's been in like a Victorian house ever and hear like squirrels in the roof, these are baboons on the roof, right? So it was just
Wow.
just just different cultural shock things. Obviously to everybody else that's regular news, but for me, I'm just like, there's a baboon drinking out of a cup.
Yeah, you don't
Like
see
just
that every
chilling, like
day.
on the stoop, just so yeah, man. So seeing that kind of stuff was wild. I think other things that stood out to me was just the flavors of colonization. So in Namibia, it's colonized pretty much by Germany, right? So certain places have like German architecture, like it feels like you're in Europe. You know what I'm saying? And even like the demographics also like represent that as well. So it was interesting to see, like I'm like in Africa looking at it from the perspective of, yo, like we're indigenous to this land. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
I'm not even black anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm indigenous here. So it's like a different kind of like mindset of how I'm looking at things. And it was just a real like eye opener. And then of course, South Africa has a lot of history when it comes to freedom fighters and just, human dignity. Um, Going to like the apartheid museum was just like,
Wow.
yo, I can't even put into words, man.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, it's devastating, but it's also empowering. And I'm grateful that they didn't shy away from the truth, because like the truth is harsh. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Super
that's what we
harsh.
need in order to really build compassion and understanding. Because what it's like, how can I explain this? Like an experiential learning opportunity. Like when you go in there, it's like you're just in this cloud of just emotions and experiences, and you're hearing the ways of how people were segregated, and just knowing the Canadian connection to apartheid, which was basically templated after the treatment of indigenous folks, like the reservations and whatnot. When we see Soweto, it's the same thing, right? So knowing that is just deep. And then so I'm going through all these different like mental experiences, and knowing that in Toronto we have the Nelson Mandela School, and he's like also like an honorary citizen of Toronto. And it's had me thinking, is this our way of like apologizing or so? I don't know, man. It was just a lot of thoughts were just kind of going in my head, but it was definitely an eye-opening experience. And I was just grateful that like that level of truth is available for people, because when you understand, then you can kind of see the circumstances of the present day and how it like shows up, right? You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? So it's just like yeah, a lot of reflections on that. Victoria Falls was just immaculate, man. That was just incredible. Like Niagara Falls is beautiful, but this just is just one of the seven wonders of the world, right?
Mm.
And learning how that was colonized, what I'm saying, like named after Queen Victoria. And when there's like indigenous names right now, can't remember the name off the top right now, but like
Mhm.
these are the things that I'm learning
Real
of,
name.
just like, oh, we have to like decolonize like so much. And the last thing I'll say, because I can go on for quite some time about this, because there's so much experiences, but last thing I'll say is just like how relevant Stolen from Africa is in the continent. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like, the question that was always kind of thrown back was like, okay, stolen from Africa, or is Africa stolen from us? And looking at, how every culture and community is investing in Africa except for us. So that
Mhm.
was like a revelation, where it's like the stolen Africans. I'm talking about like the Caribbean, North American, South American, like on that side. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's out here except for us, and there's so much that we can bring, and so much more like dignity and value. Like that's one thing I felt really like welcome. Like the love felt genuine.
Oh,
Like no
yeah.
hidden agenda, just pure. And just how there's like a synergy to it, and something that I've never really experienced, like even in my own city and whatnot. So it's
Mhm.
just making me realize like us not looking at Africa as some type of source of inspiration or connection, has just been by design, because there's a lot of power in it. And it's one of those things that you won't really understand until you actually go, you know.
Mhm.
So but at the same time, I'll also understand like how much it is like of a privilege. So a lot of us can only afford to go like mentally and spiritually, which we do. But if there's a way to like prioritize going, I think it's like, not I think, I know it's like the best thing that someone could do for themselves. Absolutely. And I'm not just talking like black people, you know what I'm saying, or Africans and whatnot. I feel like, just going, to the motherland and really seeing different aspects of black culture indeed. I think that would just help with humanity and just understanding um, the collective culture. I really see the value in just like Pan-Africanism, and a thing that kept ringing in my mind in my travels, because I got to see four countries in one trip, right? So four very different landscapes, and cultures and whatnot. But you can see the intersections, and it's just like a powerful vibe. Yeah, very motivational, and so many people that I see, because Toronto is such a multicultural space, and even within our city, we have a lot of like African communities here. So I'm going out there, I'm just like, wow, man, you look like just like the man them back home, and just like certain ways of how people are moving. I'm like, I can like take this scene and just say Jamaica and you would believe me. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like stuff like that. So just like this reminder that we really are one people. Yeah, we're very diverse. Africa has many, many faces, but when you're around the people, like there's this common understanding that, I can't really explain. You just kind of have to know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I'll just leave it like that for a minute, because I like I said, there's just so much. And yeah, like coming back to the city now, I feel like I just like woken up from a dream. Almost feels like my 2 week experience like didn't even happen. But I'm like, no, like actually did happen.
Mm,
Because
wow.
the way how Toronto's set up is such like a vacuum. Like when we're out here, everything is just like go 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 go. So it's I'm back in the flow of things, but finding time to kind of balance out and slow down a bit, but then also continue being inspired with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I was given over this time period, and nurturing that. So I got some bigger ideas, but we'll probably build on that a little later. I can't reveal everything, but there's
No,
I'm inspired. I'm definitely inspired, and I feel more people should be looking in that direction, because they're looking for us and we're looking for them.
that's it, and
Africans,
it's
man. I don't care what country, man. Any country, just make the connection. You know, um, and just you just got to. You just got to.
that's so real, yo, and it's you're so right about all the other places and continents and other cultures in the world really investing in a variety of ways, and they're doing it very quietly because they try to make it sound like Africa's some past tense thing and like it didn't get saved in the 80s and it's quiet, but it's like no, they're like no, like it's got a beautiful, magnificent future
You
that is so
listen,
it's like the last untapped continent that people are like, this is still a vast resource,
listen,
human resource, earth resource, mineral resource, cultural resource, but like the disconnect is still real and reparations is still real. And we still haven't
yeah.
addressed the post-slavery, post-colonial slave master reality that North America is thriving on. So like we're not gonna really talk about it, but we're still gonna work with it. And like they're just quietly exploiting that place. I'm just
So
hearing all this
yo, it
Chinese investment and all these other cultures investing, and it's like, yo, man, like we all gotta run behind Ludacris and all these other rappers who are like, yo, get your ass back to Africa, yo, what the fuck?
listen, like I said, what was really eye-opening is, again, like the various landscapes. So pick any scene in America, like in the Caribbean, that you can think of, like that exists in Africa. Like, for example, in South Africa, in Joburg, there's what they call, like, Nelson Mandela Square. And I don't think a lot of people know this, but Nelson Mandela Square is like, bless you, man. Nelson Mandela Square is like the richest square capital in Africa.
Mm,
So it's basically like the Wall Street of like Africa. That's where like it
wow.
goes down. And for me, it's just dope that it's Nelson Mandela Square. There's literally like a 19-foot statue of like Nelson Mandela. So he's like, gives the image that he's larger than life. And for me, seeing like black men, like freedom fighters, like notable people as statues, oftentimes, that gets like destroyed or, erased from history and whatnot. But to see that in the middle of the square, and the symbolism of that is just incredible. But the way how that square is set up, it's like Yorkville or Yorkdale. You know what I mean? Like it's like malls that we have out here are also out there, and a lot of people think that that doesn't exist. So whatever like landscape you're looking for, kind of vibe, it all exists in Africa. It's
Sick, yo.
vast. Like once you think about it, it's a whole entire continent with like 50 plus countries. So anything that you can experience outside of Africa, like that exists within it, which is
Mm,
wild.
amazing. Yo, I so love that you were there. That you got.
Man, we gotta. I just wish I could just bring like a whole bag of people. Like, there's so many people that I feel would benefit, including yourself. Like seeing the vastness of it, man. Just so inspirational.
That's the future, yo. Like, yo, when I got a little bit of extra paper, then I'm taking the next ride with y'all. Like, because I saw
I'm
one
gonna
country
figure
when
it
I
out,
was out,
man. Like, yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to see. I gotta get to the. I want to see four corners of that continent, man. I want to see south,
We
north, east,
have to.
west, and
We
central. And
have
like,
to. We
oh,
have to. And I
so
think
vital. I
like
want to
what makes it so fascinating is for people like us who live in Toronto. Seeing different cultures is like it's a normal thing to us. So we're kind of we've already gotten like a glimpse of various parts of Africa just by living in Toronto. You're going to come across different people from different places. So we're getting like little glimpse of it. So when you go out there, it's like, oh, it's kind of, it's familiar. It's it's you see the connections. It's powerful. Yeah, I mean, Africa,
word
baby, it's the
up.
future. Everybody knows it's the future except us. Like that's like my like message coming back. I'm like, wow, we've been really indoctrinated to not even look in this direction. We want to go to Portugal, we want to go to Greece, we want to go to every Venezuela, like Guatemala, anywhere but Africa. When like, and then we ask like, why are we going to these places? Oh, we like the scenery and whatever, whatever. Yeah, that's all in Africa too. I'm like,
Ghana was the number one most beautiful place I've ever seen in my entire life. I haven't been to too many places, but I've been to some places around the world. And Ghana, the brightest sunshine, the greenest trees, the
yes.
bluest sky, the most beautiful water, for sure was in
Uh,
Ghana, without question. Like, this is,
see?
yeah. So I'm with you. And like, yeah,
Yeah,
this Africa is a beautiful place that is not some like backward civilization that is
that's it.
just uncivilized and just and horrific. Like, no. Let's like never perpetuate that stereotype. Or like
Yeah.
Sankofa is
So with that being said, with that being said, it's yeah, I'm looking to continue that conversation, man. I want to, build with peeps like, Tough Dumpling Productions and, anybody who's like making those type of exchanges. Like we have to keep that energy circulating, and it's so important, and I think because we live in this digital age, it's a lot easier to make those connections
word.
and
You're right. You're right.
collaborations and whatnot. So I'm trying to
You're
get
right.
some, like African guests on the show. I know different time zones and whatnot, but like, yeah, man, we got to start doing that a little bit more intentionally now.
Word
Because
up.
there's
Word
a lot
up.
of
Well,
people who are doing exactly what we're doing, but just on the other side. So
it don't take much, man. And it's like, yo, man, it was so nice to talk to you when you were out there. It was so the energy was real, man. I could feel it through you, and like it was just a good to get
yeah,
a
man,
good look of like African hospitality on a level that I haven't seen it, just because I'd never seen it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and that was the whole thing, and on top of that, like even though we did have some of the higher end experiences, like I got to have like a helicopter ride and whatnot, like
I
over
saw that.
Victoria Falls, and what I mean, I was trying to like upload like a video, but I'll have that probably for next session, give you all a glimpse of what the vibe was like, and yeah. Anyways, just it's just beautiful vibes, man, beautiful.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, yo, welcome. So glad you went home and came back to your
Yeah.
second home.
So the
To,
flags, the 4 countries, shout out Dwayne Morgan for that shirt that we got in Zimbabwe,
I saw that shirt.
so
It's beautiful,
yeah,
yo.
yeah,
It's
yeah. No doubt got the flags they're representing. So yeah,
proper,
man.
proper. Yes, yes.
True indeed.
So, yo,
Back to hip hop, man. Like what's going on like in the in the scene, man. I saw I don't know if you saw
well, yo,
recently.
super real quick. Happy birthday to Queen Latifah today.
Okay,
Um,
yes.
and well, okay, yeah. What you were gonna say? There was something else that happened, but I'll go on. Just a couple days ago.
Well,
So
I just saw online, and it's so funny, man, because it's like, I'm coming back from Africa, so my mind is in a certain space, and then, we got this like hip hop, that the antics are going on, and I'm just like, oh, here we go, and I'm just like, man, there's so much other things we could put our energy towards, but it is
yeah,
entertaining. So top
There's a
five. You know, a top five is always somehow in the mix, and he's apparently having some like argument with Kanye. You know,
yeah,
so they've been going kind of like back and forth, and you know, I didn't really read or get into details, but I was like, this guy's beef with Kanye now. I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. Like, but
yo,
anyways,
I
what's
have
your
a
take on
list.
that?
I have a list of my news here, and at the very bottom of the list, it says Kanye crashing out, and Kanye is
Crash, no.
wiling the. I guess we'll go there.
We can
It's
give it like a little, not too much
yeah, it
time.
doesn't because that's the thing. That's the thing. It really barely deserves energy, and that's actually the point of it. Somebody else wrote it really well, and like Kanye at right now is really pissed off that nobody really cares about him. Like
Yeah,
he's,
yeah,
he's not he's not doing any cutting edge music. He's not the
yeah,
new guy. Nothing. Nobody really
yeah.
cares about his like any of his antics or anything anymore. So right now, for the last few days, he's been just flagrantly dissing
Wow.
Playboy Cardi and Travis, and he's calling Drake a faggot and he's dissing Kendrick, and so he's like dissing all these people right now. He said
He's
some really cruel
spiraling,
things.
man.
He said some stuff that apparently is like possibly going to challenge um his ability to own, like his co-parenting status with Kim. Like there's some really kind of
Oh,
dangerous things he's saying around about Kim too, and he's just crashing the fuck out for attention on Twitter right now. The last,
wow.
he'll do it for a few days and then he'll stop for a few days and then get back on, do it a few days. It is pathetic, and he's supposed to drop this new Bully album soon. I've said
Wow.
like it should be like a 20-second time limit, 30-second max to talk about this fool stuff because it doesn't deserve attention. It's not creative. It's not interesting. It's not politically insightful. It's just
Mhm.
selfish, self-serving, corny, toxic narcissism that begs for attention, and it's
Yep.
just a one-dimensional whackness. Kanye's fallen off, and it's sad to see what he's become. Yeah, he actually yeah, I saw him call himself Yadoff. I saw him. Yeah,
Like yeah, he just does not like.
look out here,
Like
bro.
I said, man, I don't even give it no more energy.
That's
You know,
it.
after
Yeah,
a while, you start recognizing it's like, no, this is just like, you know,
cry
the
for help,
attention currency,
begging, begging for
but it's
help.
like,
Yeah,
you know, it's not doing it. You know, well, it's crazy.
yeah, exactly. Like
Ah,
that's it. And I don't care. The songs are whack. Nothing is interesting. There's like it's all that's it. So moving on. Like I've been seeing it, and I just once in a while I'll be like, your mom would be fucking embarrassed, or like I just like will write the occasional thing, but I don't even care. I just scroll
yeah,
past it.
no, no, it's wild.
I
Like
don't. It deserves zero energy. It deserves no hate. It deserves no support. It deserves nothing. You just
that's it. Sometimes the best response is just no response, you know, and
yeah yeah.
that's it, man. So, anyways,
Oh,
was
the
it
the AZ concert happened.
right? That's exactly what I was gonna. Yeah, the AZ show.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about that.
it was really dope. Well, yeah, it was like there was a little. It was at the Elma Combo, which was cool. That was a little different, and Rich
How
Kid was
was
doing.
that? Like, cause I've never been to like the new like setup. I still have the old setup like in my brain.
Wow. Well, they renovated it and put $2 million worth of change into that building, so it is so different. The stairs, the stage, everything is different. They've changed everything on the inside of that. It's nothing like
It
the
still
way
has
the
like
old.
the upper deck like as well.
Well, they've actually changed. They now have one main deck, but you could watch it from upstairs. There's
Oh,
like a
so it's like,
section
oh,
of
okay, got you.
upstairs.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
so
what's
it's
up.
just like one main place. It's not like two different clubs
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
it
yeah,
used to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
So, but the stage is way flashier, and they did something really interesting design wise. Um, they had some really dope DJs, and DJ Doo Wop was the DJ starting it up too. Um, and they had some cool opening acts. Oh, also, um, yeah, Raz Fresco was an opening act, so he did good.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Conway didn't get through.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. I think that would have been really, really lit.
Yeah, so AZ came out and like Merc did, and he did really good. And More Money, More Murder, and yeah, man, like
What would you
just
rate it on a scale from 1 to 10? As Mr. Front Row, I want to like, was it up to your par, or were you just kind of giving them a blight? It's like, yeah,
oh, 8.5, man.
okay, okay,
AZ did a really solid show, but 8.5. It didn't like change the world. Did a really cool amount of songs, did a very interesting sequence of songs.
okay.
It was unpredictable. He was good energy. He was walking around. He was like
That's what's
very
up.
crowd interactive. He was
I
hollering
like
at
that.
the
I like
people
that.
up on the top level. He was talking to people.
Peace,
Like he was
peace.
like he was present. He was very
Yeah,
present. And
yeah. I like
yeah,
that. I
man,
like that.
he told a little bit of stories. It was cool. Yeah, so no, it was solid. It was solid. Um but then,
AZ, my shout out Raz.
yeah, man, yeah, for real. The sad thing was, man, and I don't see this very often. It happens to the best of them, but I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it because I don't even see it often. He came back for an encore, and unfortunately, like he forgot some of the lyrics to the encore, the last song that he did.
What song was it?
I can't exactly remember. Uh, and that's the thing. I think it was a brand new song. Like it was a really new song, and he ended up like repeating a couple of the lines a few times. And then
Uh
at the end, he just kind of I saw him like walk to the DJ, and he was like,
yeah, just
But,
cut it. Just cut it.
yeah, and like the beat was dope, and he was still spit something, and then he kind of just repeated himself a few times, and then at the end, he just was like, he was like, "Yo, Toronto, I tried. Sorry, sorry. Like I tried to," and I was like, "Hey, man, like." It's like, yo, man,
I
you
kind of
did.
wish he just didn't say that though. I kind of wish he just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he could have, and like not many people noticed. I
okay,
rarely see that, and I'm just
yeah,
saying because I'm just like I got love for him anyways,
for
and it's
sure. Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
really good show. But I'm just like I rarely have seen a person kind of fuck up their encore a little bit, and like I'm still a massive AZ fan. It's no disrespect
Yeah,
at all.
yeah,
Just like
yeah,
it
yeah,
was like a very
yeah, for
like
sure.
honest, humble mistake. But
Yeah.
I was just like, oh shit. So then he was just like, it was just one song. And then he like ran back out and he's like, "Oh shit, sorry Toronto, I fucked it up a little bit. See you next time." And then he bounced. And then Rich Kid came out and then he's like, "Hey man, I hate to be the man on the cross. Like I'm the bearer of bad news, but don't crucify me." But Conway didn't make it over the border, and so then people started shuffling out. But yeah, they just said,
Oh, so wait, hold on, wait. Time out, time out. So Conway the Machine was the headliner, but they didn't tell them till like the headliner was supposed to go on.
well. That's
That's
the
what. It,
thing. That's the thing people were wondering. People were like, was AZ going to be the opening act or the headliner? And some people had said that Conway was going to open up and AZ was going to be the headliner. So people weren't sure. And they're like, okay, well, the new generation obviously thinks Conway's going to be the
right.
headliner. But like for us heads, would be like, yo, AZ is the hip hop
Yeah.
veteran, so he should be the
Yeah.
headliner.
Yeah.
So people didn't know exactly what was going on, and like so AZ comes out, does a great show,
And
and
then
then
and then Rick
Rick
Kid,
announced it.
he's like,
So yeah, no, so we didn't know until after, and yeah, but I think AZ was supposed to be the headliner, but he was there anyway, so at least they delivered
yeah,
that.
yeah. Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but they did say keep your tickets, and Conway will be coming to a next show, and
Okay.
yeah.
And then they'll be
So,
able to make that. Okay,
yep.
that's a good way to restore integrity. So that's cool.
Mhm.
That's what's up, man. What about MC Light? Were you able to go to that one as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, talk about it.
Ha. I'll quickly shout out the opening act. There was a sister named Shay Universe, and
Big universe.
she was a beautiful R&B singer from the UK, and there was a magnificent moment where she was just dope. She was kind of like a Jill Scott vibes. Yeah, just
Okay.
nice Angie Stone energy kind of singing. And she came out, and then she started getting closer and closer to the audience. She sat down for one song, And
Okay.
then at her last song, she's like, "Yo,
Yep.
I feel like I want to sing to somebody." And then
Okay.
and she's like, "Let me see who's in the audience." And I was Mr. Front Row, of course, and I just threw my hand up. She's like, "Hey, that arm came up real quick. Let me come sing with you." And shout out to Isaiah Tricky and a couple other people who were in like there was just some
You
good
get like the snapshot.
there was a lot of good homies. Yeah, man. Yeah, some homies got some pictures and stuff. And oh, she was singing to me, and she just came up. I was in the front row, and she just came and was like caressing me a little, like singing right to me for her last song. And it got sexy and hot and fun. And it was dope. She was an amazing singer. She was really dope.
Yeah.
So
Very
shout
cool.
out to
Very
her.
cool.
And then MC Light came on and rocked. And
Yeah.
Light did this really cool show where she did like a couple songs, like 3 or 4 songs, verses, and then she did sat down and had this like story segment. So she like just sat on a stool for like 15 minutes and was telling stories, had some pictures behind her, talking about Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, and just like was
Oh, that's
telling life
dope,
stories.
man.
It was mad ill. And like there was
Yo, I
like some
love that idea.
Yo,
Yeah.
it was really sick, and then she was, like, mixing a little music in with it, and then she busted a sick acapella, it's like just dropping some jewels, and
Jeez.
it was just like old school, like, yo, bars with, like, "Hey, that's a life lesson right
Bring
there,"
back. Yeah. Yeah.
and then she
So
brought
true.
this and then she brought the show back and then did, like, Self-Destruction and Paper Thin and just, like,
Right.
ended it off with more rap, and it was I never quite seen a
Mm.
show structured like that, it was really good. So MC Light was just sick as hell. Signed some autographs. She was just mad dope. So
Yeah. No, I love that. That's dope, man.
yeah, no,
And when you think of like hip hop is storytelling, so to be able to incorporate all that kind of stuff is great. I like that.
it was fantastic. It was really good. It wasn't like quite like anything I'd seen before. It wasn't like change the universe like Missy Elliott's concert. Missy Elliott's concert was out of this world. And like
Okay.
but like
Oh,
it was she had this ill hip hop 50th anniversary jacket, and she just had this ill like B girl 90s like haircut and like
mm.
super dope fly glasses. And yeah,
Bring
she
it
was
back,
just
yo.
like
Bring it back.
MC Light was like the woman version of Big Daddy Kane as far as like aging gracefully. Like I still
Right.
got
Okay. Okay.
I can tell stories and like still kill the mic, and like I'm like in my mid 50s, but I still am like a super legend. Don't ever doubt it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sick. You're
Dope,
sick.
man. Dope. That's man. Hey, man. MC Light, big up her, man. Representing for the culture. Enough love. Self destruction. Oh man, love those records, yo.
So sick.
Classic.
So sick. It was so
Still
sick.
relevant to this day.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Cool, man. Any other shows coming up in the near future?
I feel
Any
yeah.
other
There's like
pop-ups?
a there's supposed to be, I think it's Styles P on
Right.
420.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He's coming back up.
Yeah, Styles P, and then who else? Somebody else is coming with him. Can't quite remember. But yeah. Yeah, no, I can't even think of there's a few things lingering, but I can't lock them in. Um anyways, we'll give a shout out right before
Yeah.
it drops. Christopher sends shout out to people in the comments. What up? What up? Maybe that's your homie from
Okay,
Africa.
yes. Oh, yes. 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 Big up, Chris. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, one of my students from way back in the day. My big man now, yo. So it's a big up, Chris. Yeah, man.
Hey, yo, did you see the new Power? Power's back.
It's so funny, man. I was trying to watch that while I was in Africa, but I guess like my Netflix, is not the African one. So, where the Raising Canaan was even available. I'm looking at him like I know I got the notification. All right, I got the notification, and I'm here trying to like, all right, let me get a 1, 2 episodes in. Unavailable. Just like
Ah,
it just didn't even exist.
ah,
So I had it loaded up to watch it last night, but then I just like fell asleep because I'm still like jet lagged and whatnot. But
of course.
I definitely have that queued up and I want to check it out, man, because I'm excited for that. I think I saw like 2 episodes, so which
Oh
is
yeah,
nice.
the next yes, the next episode must be out, right? I think this is
Yeah,
going.
yeah. So which is nice. I get to watch two back to back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get into that as soon as possible.
Hey, I don't know if you're into it, but I just got to give a quick little shout out. Are you checking out Law and Order Toronto?
Toronto. I
Yeah.
have I haven't seen the new like series, but the previous ones I did. Of course, like come on, man. Like I'm a Toronto guy. You know, what I mean, I gotta check out anything that's Toronto. Make sure it's correct.
Yo,
You
man,
know?
yo, so season two is back. So
Okay,
season
I'm
started
gonna
up
check it
again,
out, man.
and they have
Yeah.
3 episodes out so
All
far.
right. I'm
And
gonna I'm
I've
gonna check
peeped
it
all
out.
3 of them. They're pretty strong. They're pretty as usual, man.
Yeah.
It's worthy of the Law and Order name, and like it's some.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Like, from the vibe, I'm like, okay, I mean, this is a good start. I can see it developing, and once things get moving, it can get even more like interesting with like the stories and stuff and different communities and whatnot. So yeah, yeah,
Yo, and you're absolutely right. And what they subverted it in a kind of ill way. I love how they're like, yo, so the two main detectives on the show are like a black woman and
yeah,
not a black, like a white man and a white woman, but like
yeah,
all the superiors they report to
yeah,
are black people. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
that's kind of ill. That's like
Yeah, it is.
because
It
like
is.
normally we would want like, yo, I want to show it like some black detective or something, but it's like, nah, bro, like
Yeah,
your higher ups are all
yeah,
black.
yeah, yeah,
That's kind of that
yeah.
ain't bad.
That's
That's
definitely like intentional to really show that, because yeah, like there are people of color, black people in particular, man, that are in positions of authority, in Toronto. So to like represent that is not like some type of tokenism act. It's like actual fact.
absolutely, and for sure, like it's like if this is a multicultural city, so the chain of command, like people are all
One
there's
hundred
various
percent.
communities just working on various levels to
That's
just
it.
get things
That's it.
done and just deliver justice. Yo, so like they have some pretty good twists on real headlines, and the first one out the gate is like it's like they do a little bit of a twist on the story. I remember it when it happened because it happened like 6 blocks away from me when the dude got jumped for like it was an Asian dude, but in the TV they just changed it to a white dude. But like when the
Okay.
dude got jumped by like it was 8 young women who beat him up and killed him for like a bottle of alcohol. And that's
Wow.
the real story. Yeah.
Okay.
And in the Law and Order episode, they take that story and they just make it like 3 or 4 girls, but they do like a
Right.
spin off of that. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I know that story.
That
Like
story.
I
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
source material of that one. That shit happened like down
Right.
my block. So yeah, they're
Right.
they're
Right.
still
Right.
doing that again.
That's
And then
cool. That's
they do another one where somebody gets killed on the path and they get killed in a Rexall. Like
right. Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you're like it's literally in a Rexall. I'm like, yo, man, this is so Canadian.
Yeah, and it's time that we have that. Like we're at that standard where we can produce like quality programs that reflect, like I said, it would be cool to have like a Wire or like Top Boy version of like Toronto. Like we can definitely have like a drama series, and I think it would be very interesting just because of the intersections of culture. Like there would literally be something for everybody. Free
Absolutely,
idea, put it out there, man. Make it happen.
no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I think that's about it. Yeah. Besides that,
That
same
that
old
that's
bullshit.
all, man. Yeah, in the summer, there's Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar is coming to Toronto, so that's going to be interesting. The energy, man. That's in June.
Mm,
We'll see what the vibe is. Yeah,
hmm,
man. See if there's any other thing happening in the hip hop scene that comes to mind.
mm, mm.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
it.
don't know. Yeah, I think that's about it. Um, Yeah, I mean, Paradise is done. Did you see that show, Paradise?
Paradise. No, I don't think so. Like, what's that all about?
Um, Sterling K. Brown. Did you ever watch This Is Us? I didn't even watch This Is
Yes,
Us, but Sterling K. Brown was from This Is Us,
I did.
and
I did watch like the first two seasons, I believe. Yeah.
mm.
Oh,
So it's
he's in
the
that. Yeah. Okay, got you.
yeah. So he did another show. It was actually kind of ill show. Like it's like the end of the world in a way. There's actually this really dope way that the world ends. I won't ruin it for you. It's fantastic. And the show is about there's an underground bunker city with like 50,000 people in Colorado, and the president is there, and Sterling K. Brown is the like first defender of the president, and then the president gets killed in like in the underground city. So it's like what happened to the world and what happened, who killed the president, and like
Okay,
it's a
them
black
ones. Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a black man is like the first like his first defense, and it's like what the fuck, like
Wow.
you were
Okay.
the last person to see the president before he was murdered. So yeah, it was a
Interesting.
really good
Okay. I like that. I
yeah.
like that. Well, I'm glad that like the script writers and just everything's getting a little bit more creative and interesting. Different cast, different leads. It's time, man. It's time.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Any last thing? Think there's gonna be that movie Sinners coming out soon, which is the new Michael B. Jordan movie.
Okay.
It's like I think it's like a black vampire movie. But it's like set in the 1800s or something like that, like an old timey
Hey,
movie.
man,
So
we're ready for it.
yeah, so that's
When's that coming out?
I think it's coming out in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's pretty close. Like
Nice.
the last trailer is out and posters are out. Like I've seen. Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan and somebody else is in it. Yeah, I can't another brother, but yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Dope, man. Like that. Okay, man.
Yeah,
Big up Michael B. Jordan, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny, like I was watching a couple episodes of The Wire the other day, and like just to see him as like a young youth, like like on The Wire is interesting. It's like, wow, man, this guy's really come a long way.
yeah. That's
Because he's
exactly
he's
it.
young. He's like 12 or something like that, in The Wire or whatever. So
Uh, so yeah, Ryan. Well, Michael B. Jordan stars in it, and Ryan Coogler is the director. And yes,
dope.
oh, I
Be
think
sure to
Michael B.
check that out.
Yeah, I think Michael B. Jordan plays two characters in it. Is this what's going on?
He plays two characters and he's directing it.
No, Ryan Coogler is directing it, but I think Michael B.
Oh,
Jordan.
okay, okay, okay. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think Michael B. Jordan is playing two actors in this movie.
Okay,
I think it's one of those ones.
that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out.
Yeah,
It's like some like Eddie Murphy kind of vibe, or
yeah, yeah. It seems like it, and I think there's even another um Robert De Niro movie where he plays two different mobsters in it, and
that's
that's
cool.
later on this year.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, man. I love when people just go back to old ideas and just be like, "Oh, man, this if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fuck it. We'll try it again.
That's
I'll
it.
just flip it the next way." So, but yeah,
It's
man,
creative.
yo, yeah, I'm a
Word
uh,
up, man. So I guess that's yeah, that's pretty much it for the check-in, for now.
welcome back, man.
I
I'm
know
so
that.
glad.
Hold on, wait before we go. There's that. Did it already happen? The Much Music
No,
event
that's
that's
this Saturday. The Rap City 35th anniversary. That's this Saturday still coming up. You didn't miss it.
you know what time it is then. So
One to
say
three.
less, man.
It's in the
What's up?
afternoon. So make sure. Yeah, it's 1 to 3 in the afternoon. I'll be
All
there.
right. We'll coordinate so we can because I think that's a perfect opportunity to get just interviews because there's everybody's gonna be there, like one time. One time.
Yeah, yeah. 35th anniversary of Rap City is going to be nuts. We got a
Lots of
big.
reminiscing. I mean that's like if that's not, the like reminisce show, then I don't know what is.
Yeah,
I don't know what
exactly, fat. Like, yeah, I submitted some stuff already for that, man, because like
oh,
I got
okay.
VHS tapes right there. That's foundation. Man,
Mm-hmm.
I've oof, man, memories.
Got it. Got it,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah,
dope. So dope.
yeah. All right,
Word.
man.
All
Well,
right.
yo,
Well,
it's good to see you back, man. Welcome back, yo.
story from Africa, the return, but hey, now hey, it's just a back and forth thing now, whether we do it mentally, what I'm saying, spiritually, emotionally before we do it physically, it's going to be that back and forth connection without a doubt.
That's it.
Yeah, man. So we'll sign off like that. Reminisce show every Tuesday, carrying the tradition of saying Kofa for real, man. Because sometimes we gotta go back and collect and bring back what is useful. And that's all. What do we do? That's it, man. Connect, inspire, activate. All right. So we're gonna sign off like that. Till next time.